Do you want to know one of the movements that most people lose as they get older? It's the ability to do this. Jump and land pain-free, all right? And it involves you having strength, flexibility, balance, and coordination in your ankles, knees, and hips. And most people experience pain in one of those three areas, either the ankles, knees, and the hips. And there's two reasons for that. Reason number one is they're not strong enough to be able to jump and land pain-free. So I'm gonna show you some movements that will help build the strength. The second reason is you don't have enough control or coordination. It means you're not doing the movement properly. If you jump and land wrong with your knees caved in and your back rounded like this, heck yeah, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt because you're not moving well. So I'm gonna show you a few different movements that you can use to strengthen your ankles, your knees, your hips, and then work up to being able to jump and land pain-free again, okay? Let's start with the feet and the ankles. The first move is gonna be called calf rocks, okay? So what you're gonna start with is going toes to nose, like this, and you're gonna feel these muscles of the shin firing. You wanna go up as high as you can until you feel that muscle go wah, and then you wanna press your toes on the ground and do the opposite until you feel the calves firing. And you're just gonna come back and forth like this, nice and slow and controlled. Now this is a great movement. You can do it for 60 seconds, up to 2 minutes, let's call it. And you wanna just go until you feel a nice big pump in the muscles of the lower leg. Now, if this is too easy for you, you can make this movement a little harder and start strengthening the ankles more by doing it in a standing position. And if you need to, you can use a wall or a chair for support. But again, all the way up on the toes, toes to nose. All the way up on the toes, toes to nose, all right? So practice this movement. It's gonna help strengthen the lower legs, which really helps support the knees and the hips. Now, for the knees, the number one mistake I see people making when they're doing any sort of jumping movement is their knees wobble in like this. When your knees wobble in like this, you put a lot of pressure on the inside of the knee joint. So what you wanna practice is doing what's called a sit to stand. When you do it, look down and make sure your knees are going the same direction as your toes. And you can use your hands for support if you need to, or you can use them out front, but you're gonna stand up and you're gonna sit down, that's it. Sitting to standing, but you're gonna practice perfect form. So again, knees going the same direction as your toes, making sure that you're not bringing your knees forward like this to start the movement. You're thinking about starting through the heels, extending through the hips, and when you go down, don't jump through the knees like this, push the butt back like this. Because if you jump and land with your knees forward, you're putting a lot of pressure on your knees. But if you jump and land with your hips backward, you're using those big, strong muscles to be able to support you, okay? So, first movement, calf rocks. Second movement, sit to stands, really focusing on knees going the same direction as the toes. Now let's kind of put that together, and this will be the movement that can really, really, really help you go from not being able to jump and land pain-free to being able to do it, and that's the sit to hop. So just like the sit to stand, knees going over toes, you're gonna stand up, but this time you're gonna come all the way up on the toes, hop and land. And you're gonna come back down, hop and land. And if you can smooth it together, even better. Now, if you can do this movement for 30 seconds to 60 seconds, once a day, you're gonna build the strength, the power, the coordination, the flexibility, the balance that you need to be able to jump and land pain-free. But remember, move slow. If your knees hurt, make sure those knees are going the same direction as the toes. If the ankles hurt, really work those calf rocks a lot. And if the hips hurt, really make sure you practice by pushing the butt back and extending through the hips rather than coming forward through the knees like this, all right? So take your time with these movements, practice them slowly. Eventually, you'll be able to jump and land pain-free and your body will feel amazing again. There's a handful of movements out there that help your body feel good. Things like jumping and landing pain-free, like I just taught you. Things like being able to do a push-up, hold your body in a plank, being able to do leg raises and strengthen your core, being able to hinge through the hip and pick stuff off the ground pain-free. All these movements are core movements of the human body, but most people can't do them pain-free. So what you need is a simple series of exercises that will take you from not being able to do them to being able to do them, just like we showed you about jumping and landing, but even in a more methodical way. And here's what we do. At WeShape, we've created a workout series that teaches you how to do just that. We start with really beginner movements, like we did with the calf rocks, like we did with the sit to stands. And over time, we progress you to more difficult variations that's gonna allow you to do these fundamental movements of the human body in a way that's pain-free, that's really building a strong foundation and growing from there. It's the best way to make your body feel amazing. And the best part is you can try one of our WeShape workouts for free. All you have to do is click the link, take our free quiz, and then we'll customize your first follow-along workout with us using exercises that are appropriate for your individual skill level. So click that link, and I'll see you there for our first workout together.